Today we've got a Father's Day 3D print, and this is the Entersurprise. This is an aircraft carrier that prints as one, and it opens up with a hinge in that print. And you can also print off a couple of fighter jets that also have hinged wings, and the whole thing is freaking awesome. And this is one of the few models that I've actually paid for, but it's well worth it. Link in the description below if you're looking to get this from the original designer as well. It's relatively cheap. So first up, we're actually going to paint this, and the inside I'm going to do with a matte black. Of course, don't have to do that. And then we're going to do a silver on the exterior to try and make it more ship-like. So the reason for the matte black interior is I just thought I wanted to kind of dull the shininess of the raw filament. And you can also see that the model comes with locations to put magnets in, so we're going to do that as well. And of course, this will help to keep the ship sealed when you have your planes inside. I'm also putting them in first because I may as well paint over them with the matte black. That way we're going to have them almost completely disappear into the superstructure. And yeah, this model actually comes in two different sizes. This is the larger one, but actually reduced a little bit overall. And it was relatively easy to install the magnets, as you can see. And I just had to make sure I get them, of course, the right way around so they're attracting each other rather than repulsing. And then it's going to be a little matte black spray paint. So that's the interior done. And I think that just gives it a nicer sheen overall. Then we have the metallic kind of iron paint for the exterior, which I was very happy with. Now, I was originally going to do the whole underside, that bottom half, in gloss red to make it look like the underside of a ship, but I thought it's going to actually be a bit overpowering. So I decided instead I'm going to paint the actual details in red. And then when it comes to the deck of the ship, I'm going to add in a little bit of white and some different elements just to make it a bit more interesting. And so far, I'm overall loving it. I've only printed this off and never painted it before, so I'm very happy to come back and do a paint job. And this is my final paint job with it. So you can see we've gone for white, highlighting the 65 and a few off the deck elements. We've got the interior, which is in matte black. It's now fully dried, looks great. And then the silver on the outside, which didn't even need to mask the interior because you just simply closed it and then spray painted it. And of course, we put some red down the bottom. And you can see here the planes as well. And I'm going to give the planes a little bit of a paint job as well. And they can either go inside or outside. And of course, they have folding wings, which is really freaking cool. And here is how they actually print if you're interested. So this prints vertically up. And you've got a couple of bits that snap off. And the rest just gets removed. And that's it. Done. Really nice 3D print. And they work incredibly well. This is 75% I've printed off the 200 sized version you can get, but if you do buy this you get two different sizes. So yeah, really happy. And you can see just a little bit of force there and you can snap off those little wingtips. And the only issue with these planes is they're just a little bit of a pain in the ass to actually clean up because a lot of the adhesion really likes to stay on the bottom of this thing. And of course these things are very much like Tomcats and give you nice Top Gun vibes. So here is our aircraft carrier completely finished, and we're just going to bring in the completely finished planes and I'll show you what it all looks like. So that's what I decided to go with. Simple design, but something that highlights the wings opening and gives it a somewhat legitimate look to the paint job. I remember those black tails that would always be seen on the back of the Tomcats on some of the squadrons. So I liked adding that on. And yeah, really good 3D model. Not really like a toy or anything. I wouldn't give this to a kid or anything like that. And it doesn't float, so don't do that either. Or well, it floats, but not the right way up. And yeah, it's a great 3D model. I actually think it's a very, very good one for a beginner. This was one of my first ever 3D models that I printed off. And I think it's a little bit difficult because you're, of course, with both of these, you're printing vertically with not too much adhesion on the base. And I like that the challenge is there. You learn quite a lot printing it and getting the kind of sizes right and all that. And you can play around with that a lot, either scaling it up or scaling it down. So yeah, it's just a heck of a lot of fun to work with this 3D model. And I'm glad I've come back and painted it up now. And I think this is an absolutely wonderful Father's Day gift.